Hello, this is Lori from the Emerald City Book Review. Today I'd like to tell you about some of my favorite books from the recent publications of the Folio Society, publisher for many decades of beautiful books located in London. And these are just some of my picks for titles you might consider giving to loved ones or to yourself. So first off is a book that I already reviewed on the blog, but here you can see more of it. It's The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula Le Guin. And you can see it has this kind of frost blue slipcase with silver snowflakes on it, very appropriate to the story. The cover is illustrated, front and back, and these illustrations are by David Lupton, who also illustrated A Wizard of Earthsea for Folio. These were two of the last projects that Le Guin worked on at the end of her life. She was very happy with Lupton's illustrations, so that says a lot. But she is very picky about how her books are illustrated. The end papers are also illustrated. The title page. And these are black and white illustrations, often integrated into the text, which is a style that I really like. Another example. So this is a beautiful edition of this classic science fiction book, and you can read more about the story in my review. Next is another classic of a very different kind. That's Brideshead Revisited by Evelyn Waugh. Oops, that's upside down. No, it's not upside down. It's hard for me to read because it's backwards on my screen. So this is a new edition of a book that Folio has published before, one of the great classics of the 20th century. These illustrations are by Harry Brockway. Here's the cover and the back. Wonderful stylized woodcut illustrations that really evoke the mood of the 20s and 30s when the book is mostly set. They're in two colors, always with this black and this brick color. And I found that very effective in evoking actually the two time periods that are in the book. One is the period between the wars, which the main character is remembering, and the other is the time during World War II when he's stationed in this great estate, Brideshead, where he once was associated with the family there. Here's another one of the pictures. So, another terrific rendition of a classic book. Next is something a little different, called How to See Fairies by Charles Van Sandwyck. See the illustrations on the slipcase. This is an original work, but it's very much in the style of the golden age of children's book illustration, especially Arthur Rackham. Beautiful, elaborate cover, illustrated end papers. And the dedication is even to the everlasting memory of Arthur Rackham, who was rather fond of sardines. So this is a collection of little stories and collections of poems and vignettes of fairies and nature spirits that were originally published by Van Sandwyck privately in very small editions, but now we can all enjoy them. All in full color. Here's a double or triple page spread that was folded into the book. Gorgeous heavy paper. It's really lovely. The last story is The Fairy's Christmas, appropriate for this season. So those were all from the September collection. Folio puts out several collections a year. And the next four I'm going to show you are from their latest collection, the Christmas collection. Hot off the press. And one of those was the winner in their annual competition, co-sponsored by the House of Illustration. They choose a title and put it out for illustrators to submit their cover design and sample illustrations. And then out of all these entries, one is picked to have the commission. So, see if you can guess what this is. It was the Selected Adventures and Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes. There's the striking cover design. This illustrator who won the competition is Max Loeffler. There's his frontispiece of Holmes pondering a case. So this selection is, let's see, 10 of the greatest and best Sherlock Holmes stories, from A Scandal in Bohemia to The Final Problem. No, it is not complete, but as a selection, it's pretty good. The illustrations are in black and white, often with these silhouettes, combining elements from the stories in an imaginative way. This is one of my favorites from The Speckled Band. And the last one, The Final Problem, Holmes and Moriarty at the Reichenbach Falls. So, really nice. If you have somebody in your life who doesn't know Sherlock Holmes, this is a terrific introduction. Or a fan who would enjoy the illustrations. Next is the Folio Book of Children's Poetry, a new selection of favorite poems in this midnight blue kind of sparkly slipcase. And what I can't show you is that these white decorations are actually glow in the dark, as are the white parts of the cover. So if you expose this to light and leave it in your child's room, it can be a comforting element in the night. Inside, it is illustrated in this kind of retro 50s style. The illustrator is Leslie Barnes. In several colors. There. fun and playful illustrations. And the selection of poems is arranged alphabetically, which is an interesting way to do it because it puts together poems that sometimes have absolutely nothing to do with each other, and sometimes there's some interesting interrelationships that come up. So we have The Devil in Texas, followed by Ella Telephony, El Dorado by Edgar Allan Poe, Epitaph on a Hare. Overall, the emphasis, I would say, is on musicality, lots and lots of poems that rhyme, lots of fun and imagination and humor, also some more serious poems, many, many classics, Tennyson and Shelley, Keats, also some more modern poets, Roald Dahl, Ogden Nash, Tale of Custard the Dragon. So it's a terrific selection, beautifully done, will last a lifetime. My next pick was a novel by one of my favorite authors, John Steinbeck, of Mice and Men. Folio has done several books by Steinbeck, but not this one yet, to my knowledge. And this is a spectacular production of this short, slim book. It has you can't really see, but it's a rough burlap kind of fabric, which is appropriate to this tale of two wandering laborers in California in the early 20th century. Steinbeck's great subjects. The illustrations are by James Albon, who did a couple of other books for Folio. I love the typography with this display type of the period. There are some color illustrations and some are integrated black and white. Again, it is really beautiful and highly appropriate to the story. And my final selection is one of the greatest novels of all time. And this is published in line with the centenary of the author's birth. That is George Eliot, Middlemarch. This is a chunkster. It's really heavy. But as a giant of world literature, doesn't seem inappropriate. The lime green cover cloth has not been so well received by some readers, and I'm not sure about it myself, but we can remember that the Victorians actually loved these garish colors. Also the end papers with this blue and silver wallpaper kind of design, they would have loved that. It's illustrated by Pierre Mornay. This is the frontispiece. They're often portraits of the characters. Dorothea Brooke, of course, the heroine. There's Rosamund Vincy, this awful spoiled girl. There's Dorothea. pictured with this statue echoing her pose. So it's a monumental edition of a monumental work, and really appropriate, again, to the tone, the scale of this great book. So I hope you've seen something that might interest you. If you didn't, I still encourage you to go on the Folio website and have a look at their offerings. I obviously gravitate towards fiction, children's books, fantasy, but they also publish history, science, exploration, religion, every subject, horror even, and I'm pretty sure you will find something to pique your interest or to inspire you to give a wonderful gift to a book lover in your life. So that's my survey of Folio for holiday 2018, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.